Wow, I hope that wasn't muted for a long time. Hello, YouTube, everyone in the world. How's it going today? How you doing? Hello specifically to ProjectInfection. I hope you guys are watching this. I'll try to send this one directly to you. So I am on day 2 and trial 2, take 2 of the Light vs. Darkness mod edition. For those of you who don't know, didn't watch the video yesterday or any stream that I was doing, I was not expecting any of this. I was not paying attention to this at all until it just dropped, and then here it is, and it looked incredible. There's a lot of stuff about it. There's 2 separate ones: the Darkness mod, which is like a visual aesthetic and audio mod, and then there's also the Light edition, which is more gameplay changes. So I don't want to address the darkness section more because I want to go throughout more of the worlds and say which ones kind of need to be a little bit darker, which ones need to be a little lighter, because I don't think they're completely balanced or all over the place. And my stance I still stand from yesterday that, like, if I have to keep changing it in the menu and certain parts, you'll get to a certain section, specifically in the beginning of worlds, that don't allow you to get to the menu. You can't adjust the brightness till afterwards. I think it's up to the community to be like, hey, you know what? This one's brightness should be up. This one shouldn't be up. This one's a little too dark. This one's good. The more feedback we give to them, the better. They'll be able to change things if they want to or can, and then if they don't want to, they'll just be like, hey, adjust the brightness setting. It's fine. And honestly, it's the biggest complaint I have to say is, like, just some sections are too dark and I can't enjoy the different dark aesthetic that you guys gave the game. Toy Box is the world that I'm looking at, because I went up to Kingdom of Corona in my Guardian mod yesterday. My Guardian playthrough. So yesterday I was pretty critical on the Light versus the Light edition of this mod. I was very critical, and I will blatantly say there were a lot of parts where I was just not having fun. Things weren't working. Things weren't as advertised. And then I had a couple of things that were just not fun. I will be honest. Some things are just not fun. But here's the thing. I was only playing Guardian mode, and I know, because I watched a decent amount of that video, that Guardian does a little bit of damage, and it's supposed to take more. It's supposed to be more of a defensive-based build. So I went, you know what? Let me choose a different build. I'm having problems with the Reflect Guard specifically. There were a couple bosses and unbalancement here and there that I was having problems with. And let me get back to it after that. Like, after the fact, let me be done with this and just see what it's like playing something else. So instead of the warrior path, I decided to play the magic path. I went, you know what? It's critical mode anyway. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die real quickly. And I know the boss specifically I wanted to get to, tornado type, to see what my feelings were. So here's my thoughts and opinions. At the end of Toy Box, when I was playing Guardian mode, I really didn't feel like playing this mod anymore. I was pretty bored and annoyed with some of the choices. And some things I was just getting frustrated because they weren't working. Specifically for Guardian mode, the status effects thing, like, I was still getting status effects. Even though maybe it might have been short in time, but, like, when I got hit by fire, Sora still stopped, went to go pat his ass, and I got hit by fire and died. It's not like if I had a form change and it had, like, a status effect on. No status effect on. The reflect barrier that I had, I didn't have the Xemnas type one, but the Reflega one that I had on was not working at certain points, and it was just frustrating to have a mechanic that just wasn't working. But to be fair as well, a lot of 360 guards have not been working. A lot of those mods still have places that they fail from all of them that I've been playing with so far. There's a Ventus one that I've been playing with. Riku's guard doesn't always work from Project Equinox. And it looks like it's just a visual, because in those ones it looked like it was just a visual change, but it was still taking the same guard Sora has, because it was the same exact spots that I was having problems with Sora, with stuff like Demon Tide and stuff like mob battles. I forgot the other boss somewhere along. Oh, the horse carriage boss. It's when it swings its thing in a 3-hit combo. That was also kind of not working on other mods and with Riku. Marluxia's Scythe, some things like that. So I wanted to give it a pass and be like, yeah, okay, you know what? I don't have to use it, even though it's a part of why you would choose Guardian. The status effects, okay, maybe you gain status effect nullification later. I don't know, whatever. But as far as like the damage and everything, I wanted to just go play a different one to see if it was more balanced. So I chose Mystic Path and went, okay, I expected to die a little bit. I even chose easy mode, and I had Keyblades. I had the New Game Plus Keyblades and selfie poses, just in case I got stuck, because I didn't want to stream for more than 2 hours, and I wanted to just get to the end. I wanted to just get to Tornado Titan and see if I was still having the same complaint about that, and then I'm sure I will have the same complaint about some other things going forward now, so I'll talk about them right now. So I was enjoying myself. By the end of this, I want to play more of this mod with Mystic Path. It was really fun. You do physical chip damage, nothing, but you get Magic Flash early, and your magic is busted. But here's the issue, though. There are things other than your magic that scale with your magic stat. So Magic Flash and your combo finisher is one, but the other combo finisher you have is it's a remind one, Last Charge. That's also there's only 2 of them. They're both magic abilities. The other 2 combo finishers are Speed Slash and Triple Rush. They're not really they're more combo modifiers, because they also happen in the middle of a combo. There's no finishing plus in this game, as far as I know. There's no finishing plus. You can't double up finishers. And if you have multiples equipped, they activate like in the second or third part of your combo. So they say they're combo finishers, but they act more like combo modifiers. So I guess I'll need to have a third playthrough of the Warrior Path and get to the point where I get Speed Slash or Triple Rush, and then compare the damage at similar levels and similar base stats through all of them on the same enemy, and see what it's like. See if my strength stat see if Warrior Path really does do more damage with Speed Slash and Triple Rush, and see if Mystic Path does more damage with Magic Flash and Last Charge. But the thing is like at that point, like if that does happen, best case scenario, let's say that is how it is, then that means there's finishers that get buffed with Mystic, and there's finishers that get buffed with buffed with Warrior Path, but there isn't a finisher that gets buffed with Guardian Path, so it leaves Guardian lacking in the damage significantly, and the damage reduction it takes is not enough to justify it doing literal chip damage with everything. It does chip damage with attractions, it does chip damage with links, it does a chip damage with grand magic, it does chip damage with finisher, it does chip damage everywhere across the board. So overall, my issue really wasn't too much with the Light Edition mod. It really was the issue with Guardian form just sucks. There are some things that just don't work as advertised, like the no status affliction and the barrier that you have, the reflect. And the amount of damage that you're allowed to take, it's really not much more than Mystic. Like, I died to like a Shadow versus Guardian form. I would take like 3 hits instead of 2, or maybe 4 hits instead of 2. But that's not really enough to justify chip damage. Like, we're talking chip damage. I needed a form change and hidden potential to be doing any sorts of damage at all, and then we'll get to when that doesn't apply. So, but overall, I don't feel like the. And again, I haven't played the Warrior Path yet. I'm sure I will have more clarification, more insight, and a lot more opinions, because I have a lot of those once I play Warrior Path. But from just playing Mystic and Guardian, Mystic was fun and sure, super OP, but Guardian form was a drag, boring, and it sometimes like just it made the gameplay just not fun to play with it. It made it made me not want to. It made me not want to play the mod. To be quite frank, I was really, really, really bored during certain parts. It makes you not want to fight enemies. Like in this, specifically here in Twilight Town, there are nobody enemies that show up in the forest, and that's a great thing. Like all the changes here, I want to say too. Like all the things I'm not mentioning, all the changes from the Light Edition that I'm not mentioning are like a thumbs up, A+, guys. Really, really fun. It's really nice. The different abilities you're getting, the different abilities you're getting and your party members are getting, the limitations of your party members when you're having some and when you're not having some. I guess I haven't used too many of the other Keyblades, but the different Keyblade abilities, because I know they get some when you level them up, and they're a little different, and I'll have to see if that's the same for all of them, or if they change depending on the path you take. The different equipments and everything you're getting, like there's so many little things that are so great from the Light Edition that are really awesome. So everything I'm not mentioning is an A+. Keep up the good work. These are only the things I really I feel like are balanced and fair. So yeah, so there's nothing that gets boosted with Guardian form, so it kind of makes it feel like there's no way to get damage. And Reflect, here's the thing. I would think like if Mystic Path gets boosted from the magic finishers and Warrior Path gets boosted from the physical finishers, that the thing that should get boosted, like to do insane amounts of damage compared to everything else and not to chip, for Guardian would be counters. I was not doing a lot of damage with counters, so I don't even feel like my reprisals were really doing much more damage than the Mystic Path one that I'm doing right now. And I can't compare the Reflect one because I don't have the Reflect mod on here for it. But like just comparing my counterattack to a counterattack damage, not the actual like Reflect bursting, doing that, like counterattack to counterattack, I don't feel like I'm really doing that much more damage. So there's really nothing it has over that. The other thing is that I'm noticing is in Kingdom Hearts 3, there's a lot of things that get affected with your magic stat. And these things, I don't know if... I don't think it's not balanced, because I don't want to say fair. It's not balanced to have these things scale only for Mystic Path. And then for Guardian Path, again, that's already doing chip damage. These other things are also doing chip damage. So there's absolutely no way for you to deal out a decent amount of damage. And when everything is either buffed, or there's more enemies on screen, or there's different enemies like Neo Shadows in the first world, or in Berserker nobodies in Twilight Town, when there's these enemies that have like the Berserkers have over 2 bars of health, and for you to do chip damage, it's like I don't even want to deal with them. But how would you deal with them in normal Kingdom Hearts 3 without your regular combos, without your magic, without your reprisals? Well, you have Link's Grand Magic, which is just an extension of magic. So really you just have Link's team attacks and attraction. All of those seem to scale with your magic, though. That's the thing where it's like, I wish, and I don't know if this is possible. I have no idea because I'm not a modder for this game. I have no idea if it's not possible to not adjust the damage that Link's and everything scale with, that Link's attraction and team attack scale with your stats, while also keeping magic and attack stat doing chip damage. So, like, I don't know if it'd be possible to have Link's team attacks and attractions do the same across the board and only scales with your level, let's say, or your actual stats, let's say, versus what path you took. Because let me go over here. Can I no menu, here we go. Okay, so let me see stats. Your magic is 30. Okay, so it really did just give me a huge amount of magic. I'm guessing my defense in the other one is 30. Well, in critical, that's why it doesn't matter. Okay, yeah, so I don't really know what way you would be able to do this. But like, for example, I used Blaster Blaze, Buster Blade, whatever the spaceship attraction was, and I was just melting HP away. And Grand Magic, I expected to do huge amounts of damage, but I did not expect Donald Meteor to do like half a bar, 3/4 of a bar of health of the Rock Titan. That was insane. And it's everything. So on every single point, especially on critical mode, maybe this is different for the other modes, for Proud, Standard, and Easy. Beginner, sorry. But I know they also said that this was supposed to be scaled better for critical mode, and it really doesn't feel like the bonuses that Guardian Form has is really unbalanced compared to the other two. Like, at least you can do physical damage and your counters will do a real decent amount of damage with Warrior Path. And Magic, Mystic Path, of course, you know, it's busted with the Magic. But the fact that you don't have the options of Link's team attacks or attractions doing anything more than chip from it, because both of those are neutered with that, the amount of the damage reduction you have isn't enough. You really should have Guardian Form having completely, you go through no status effects whatsoever. You don't go in any of those animations, nothing. That would be like a start to balancing it out. Because like I was curious and I went here to go use Meow Wow, and Meow Wow just, I used 2 Meow Wows and he just shredded through the entirety of these nobodies in this first area. It was insane. So yeah, so overall, a lot of my complaints that were with the Light Edition, a decent amount of them, are just that there are mechanics and things not working with Guardian Form, like the status effects and the reflect, and the fact that like you're doing chip damage even with attraction and Link and all that. I don't know how to change that, but at least if Reflect did always work, because Reflect takes magic. If the Reflect didn't take magic and didn't always work, I could be like, it's like every other 360 guard that's on Nexus mods. It doesn't really work, but it's just a replacement for guard. It's free. But it takes magic. So since it takes magic and it doesn't work all the time, that needs to be fixed and addressed. And the status effects, you can't have Sora go in those animations for Guardian Form, because if those are the two things that just change your Guardian Form, then by all means let my battles take 20 to 30 minutes. At least I know what I'm getting into because I'm not going through any status effects and the reflex working. So now, let's go into the other thing that I wanted to talk about. I specifically wanted to get to Tornado Titan because I wanted to see if he was as much of a drag as Guardian form using Mystic. And the battle went by faster, and he was getting his HP shredded more. But here's the thing that I finally came across. There are certain battles I don't think need to be buffed or change. I don't know if the enemy AI has. I believe it has. I believe they said there was some tweaking to enemy AIs, but I don't know how much has changed for all of them because I feel the shadows are a lot more aggressive, like 0.2 aggressive. Flame cores I don't feel like are really much more aggressive. Water cores are always aggressive, so I can't really tell with some of the other enemies, and I haven't played too much of this. But like the Gigas weren't too much more effective. So it seems like there's certain enemy AIs that need to be tweaked, or maybe they all were, and I'm just not noticing as much. But the boss battles, so I'm very concerned to play more of this because there are certain boss battles that just in Kingdom Hearts 3 suck. They just suck. If you're not using Ralph, Mother Gothel is not particularly fun or great. She's okay. Skull sucks. Snowball's okay. Snowball's pretty good, but your fire's not really doing damage, and he's buffed significantly. I could see how that would be a pain in the ass fight, but like specifically Skull, the underwater fish, Pirates of the Caribbean, Davy Jones, more so because of tentacles and everything that spawns. That flying Heartless in Pirates of the Caribbean, Dark Baymax. There are a couple of fights that I'm not really looking forward to. And that's based off of 2 fights that I already had. One of them's the Red Dragon fight, which I don't need to replay on any other modes to understand it sucks, and Tornado Titan. So here's the thing. Specifically with Tornado Titan. Giving him like 6 bars of health is okay. Giving him any more than that is just tedious because it just becomes... It doesn't even become a war of attrition. It's just... most of your time is wasted just floating in the air. Because see, with Tornado Titan, and I'm telling you guys, like you guys don't know this, I'm sure you do. He played the game, so you guys understand this. But you know, I'm just giving you my opinions on what it's like so far. Tornado Titan's not a good fight. It's not a fun fight. Ice Titan and Lava Titan is actually a fun fight. You have two different enemies that are reacting to 2 magics that you have at that point. You have to switch between them. You have this middle area that you can use team attacks and attraction flow and get some big damage out of. Yada yada yada. I think it's actually a very fun fight. On critical, it's okay because the lava Titan throwing his fucking meatballs all over the place kind of sucks, but it's an okay fight. And on critical mode, I really don't think Tornado Titan is really that bad because he takes a decent amount of damage. Here's the thing, guys. He wastes a lot of time. So when you just give him more HP, it doesn't really leave room to do anything. It's just tedious. It's just tedious. And on Mystic Path, when I was actually burning through him more, I actually realized, like, oh, when he's hanging out of in that, when you're flying in the air solo with Sora and he's coming out of the mouth of the lava or the Ice Titan, he's already taking like reduced damage, so it makes it go even slower. So the magic at that point, I was just wasting it, going, oh, it doesn't matter what I do, it doesn't matter I hit him with Magic Flash, it doesn't matter that I'm spamming waters, he's just not taking damage. That first form that he's at, when he's spitting out the buildings and you're just attacking the base of the tornado, that form also sucks. the magic didn't seem to be hitting it constantly because he like flinches and he moves around, and then you can't hit him with other magics. If you get too close, the camera's really finicky, and you can't really tell if or when those buildings are being launched because they're launching too fast. So he's just not like a very fun fight. So to give him 10 bars that early on, it's really not fun. It's really not fun. And I would say, like, adjusting Rock Troll and giving him more HP, perfect. Giving the Heartless Doll, which I thought was going to be a really bad fight, more HP, like giving her from like 3 or 4 bars to 6 bars, that's fine. Giving Tornado Titan 10 bars of health, that is not a fun fight. He needs 6 and no more. It's just, he wastes a lot of time transitioning between the diving one and then air stepping between all those spots, and then you're falling again and he's back at his first phase. There's too much of the transitions where it's like, even if you're using Mystic Path and using magic properly at the right times to shred his HP, the amount of times he's in damage reduction states and constantly like just moving between different states, it's just not a fun fight at all. I'm sorry, I don't enjoy that at all, and I think that that's one of the first fights you need to adjust. The other one that I don't need to go back through is the Red Dragon fight. If any of you guys have seen the video from yesterday, you'll know that I was bitching about it. Yeah, the Red Dragons, if you're not gonna buff the damage, if you're not gonna have damage reduction for the Gigas, if not specifically for that fight, but in general, your Gigas can die before you even make it to them if all 3 of them shoot lasers. And I was in Guardian mode. It didn't seem to help damage reduction for Gigas. They're still dying incredibly fast, like normal critical mode. But like, those guys don't need 4+ bars of health each. There's already 3 of them. They don't flinch. They have an attack that's an AoE that it looks like you guys extended the range. They have another attack that's a beam that has insane tracking and hits you over half the field away, and that's a really big field that you're fighting them in, that entire Bugs and Beasts, or the toy playroom. Yeah, they have too much health, and they're one of those Osaka team enemies where it's like, they don't flinch. They don't flinch. You gotta flinch them with getting up close to them, and you can't get up close to them if all 3 of them are shooting a laser and killing your Gigas before you can get up to them. It's a really tedious, boring fight. So I'm not particularly looking forward for a lot of these fights going forward. And I hope they're not as unbalanced as these 2 that I fought. Because even if I'm playing Mystic Path, and I can tell you guys, I'm having a bunch of fun. It actually is really fun. Even though I'm dying really quickly, I don't care. I'm having fun. I was not having fun with Guardian mode. But then I got to Tornado Titan, and no matter which one, and I doubt Warrior Path is going to change this either, because it's still going to be the same thing. If he has too much HP, he's constantly moving, so it's just a waste of your time. Like, giving him more HP was not fun. If you gave double the HP to Ice Titan and Lava Titan, and you kept him at the same HP, that would have been fine. I'm okay giving them more HP. They're a fun fight. They're not constantly in this state of like, you can't hit them. He is. He sucks. And I can tell you the fights I know that aren't going to be fun, because I played this game at level 1 on Proud before critical mode came out, and I know what fights were a pain in the ass. Tornado Titan, the Heartless Doll I thought was pretty much a drag because there's a lot of the enemies there. The Red Dragon Heartless. What's his face? The horse carriage Heartless mini boss. The unversed boss, the Blob. Skull. Number 1 enemy of this game is Skull. Again, another enemy who, just like the Red Dragons, doesn't flinch. He really doesn't flinch that much. kind of just like the Heartless Doll fight, which I don't like, is there's a bunch of other little enemies there that can just snap you and kill you pretty quickly. He has phases where he will just basically be unable to be touched. When he runs around, when he's doing his spiral, if he gets too high up in the air, then it's like, do I just go up in the air and follow him and take the chance that he's just gonna relentlessly attack me with his wide claws, and I'm gonna have a guard fail because he's just gonna hit me at a wrong angle in the air and I can't dodge roll? Maybe. He's got his whole DM phase, which just sucks because he has no opportunities at all. Like, it doesn't leave him open, it doesn't leave him stunned where he's on the ground, like Cerberus from KH2. When you do the reaction command, he's just like kind of there, and you have a couple of combos to get in on him. So like, I really hope that Skull doesn't have more HP, but I'm sure he does based off of what I played so far. I really hope that the underwater fish doesn't have more HP. I'm sure it does. I really hope that the flying dragon Heartless in Pirates of the Caribbean doesn't have more HP, and Dark Baymax doesn't have more HP, but I'm sure they do. Some of these fights just aren't great. They're typical Osaka's team kind of bullshit. They're not the humanoid bosses, which are actually fun. I really hope that they don't have more HP, but I'm not looking forward to get to them. And I'm sure I'm going to have the same criticism of like, guys, they just have too much HP. The fights just suck. There's really nothing you can do about that. Unless you guys can change the bosses around and make them flinch to certain attacks and make counterattacking like the humanoid bosses have. Unless you guys can actually change the boss around, I really don't think there's any way of like just giving them more HP is going to be tedious for some of these fights. Some of them, no. The Heartless Doll fight was a nice one. Like, hey, you know what? That was fair. 6 bars of health, that's fine. The Rock Troll, 4 bars of health. Hey, that's fine. Totally fine. Ice Titan and Lava Titan, if they were given double HP each, okay. The rest of your party members do enough damage, and you're doing enough damage where it's like, hey, okay, that's totally fine. It's a 2-part fight anyway. You do those 2 Titans, and then you do Tornado Titan, so the retry isn't for both of them. So it's like, that would be fine. But like Tornado Titan, the Red Dragon Heartless, I'm sure Skull and the Fish Heartless and the Flying Heartless and Dark Baymax, these are just not good fights. They're not something that I think should be given more HP. What also made it a lot worse was the fact that I was doing chip, like actual chip damage with Guardian form. It's not fun. It's not fun. So I hope you guys really take a look at people's playthroughs and see what they're thinking of certain bosses and certain parts of the game. Because like, from what I can tell, I'm excited to play the rest of it. I actually am looking forward to going to play Warrior Path now and be like, hey, I can actually do counterattacking, and the combos would actually do a decent amount of damage. Like, I can just shred through enemies with pressing X and guarding and just doing like what I do to the data fights and just bullying them. I'm looking forward to that. And the Mystic Path, I'm looking forward to just bullying everything with magic. It's gonna be fun to cheese them. But Guardian needs some buffs and balancing, because it's completely unworked. Like, it just sucks. And what's it called? And some of the bosses are really bad. So yeah, I've been talking for a while. I need to go eat. My food's just getting cold now. I'll be making more videos on this. This is really the only thing that's gonna be taking my time. I'm in love with this darkness mod. I am starting to really enjoy this light edition mod too. Certain aspects of it are incredible. But I'm loving the darkness mod. I'm loving all this. I can't wait to be using this darkness mod, like I said, with the Dark Corridor save mod, and with the Vanitas mods, and the Terra Nort mod, and there's all this other stuff that I can't wait to be using with this. It looks good. You guys did a phenomenal job. I hope that you don't take this the wrong way, like I'm just shitting on your work, because that's not the intention here. The intention here is for you guys to give you the feedback to make the mod the best that it can be. Yeah, and I hope you guys are seeing this, and yeah, I don't have anything to add for right now. Maybe I'll add more later on down the road. I'm just gonna be streaming this for a while, and here and there where I can. Yeah, incredible job, guys. Incredible jobs. It just needs tweaks. And this is much different than yesterday. I am actually really, really excited to play the rest of this. Only a Mystic Path though, not Guardian. So yeah, before I make a 40-minute video, you know, here's my second review video of your mod that's longer than the actual mod showcase. Keep up the good work. I hope that you guys are paying attention to what the fans and everybody are saying, for whatever tweaks that do need to happen for this. But now I'm actually excited. I left my stream yesterday making that video for YouTube, really not liking the experience that I had. I liked half the experience, the Darkness mod edition. I was not liking the other half of the experience. I left this today liking the whole experience, but very hesitant because I know this game and I know where the problem areas are, and I really hope that they're not buffed, but I'm sure they are. So yeah, thank you ProjectInfection and everyone associated with the team and everybody that helped make this. This is incredible. This is I mean, I thought the Coliseum mod from Aphrodix, I'm sure I'm getting their name wrong. I thought the Coliseum mod was absolutely stunning, and it still is. This is just a whole other beast. I can't believe the work. I can't believe what's gone into this so far. So yeah, I'll be making another video. You guys will be seeing a lot of this stuff in the near future, because this is incredible. And yeah, I'm gonna go before I just keep droning on. So have a nice day, everyone. Thank you, ProjectInfection. Have a nice day. I hope you guys are seeing this as criticism from a real fan and a supporter of what you guys are doing, and not just bitching, because I know I can come off as just negative Nelly, even though I mean it to be constructive. Yeah, I'm having a blast, and I'll catch you all next time. And anybody who's interested in watching this, come over on Twitch. I'm streaming completely sporadically. My schedule is really weird right now, and yeah, have a nice one.